Before you fall in love with a new construction home out in the suburbs west of Austin, you need to fall in love with the community first, because here's the truth: the community can have more of an impact on your overall lifestyle and your home's value more than the home itself. Here's 5 questions to ask yourself to make sure you're choosing the right neighborhood. The first question is, how many homes are going to be built? I can tell you there's neighborhoods in Dripping Springs and in the Lake Travis School District that have a couple hundred homes and some that have a couple of thousand homes. So it really depends on what kind of vibe you're going for. Some people like the smaller boutique community feel, and others want the giant neighborhood where there's more things to do and people to meet. But you also need to keep in mind, how many years of construction will there be? Some people may not want to be around all the construction noise and the dirt and the constant building. It also takes longer for your home to appreciate in a neighborhood where there's still construction going on, because people will always opt for the new builds over a resale home. So if you're not planning on being in the home all that long, then sometimes moving into a smaller community that's more likely to close out and the home values go up faster, that could be a smarter move in the long run. Just keep in mind that new build communities take a little bit longer to appreciate, so plan on hanging on to your home for at least 4 or 5 years, ideally, if you want to see a decent return. The second question to ask yourself, this really has to do with lifestyle, is how many amenities are going to be included and what are they? So some people love having a neighborhood where there's just everything you need right in the middle of it. And there's some extreme high-end amenity neighborhoods in the Lake Travis area. Rough Hollow is probably the most amenity rich. It has a marina, it has a restaurant, it has a world-class fitness center, there's hiking trails, there's multiple pools, there's all kinds of stuff. You can take your kids out on the kayak in the morning out on the lake. There's so many things to do there, and that's usually one of the reasons people buy in that neighborhood. Out in the Dripping Springs area, I would say Headwaters and Calaterra are probably the 2 most amenity rich. Calaterra has its own coffee shop, it has a pool, it has a fishing pond, all kinds of things. And then Headwaters even has a new shopping center with its own marketplace, a beer garden, a restaurant. So many cool things there. Now, for some people, that means a lot because maybe they have kids, they want to be able to take their kids around in a golf cart. Other people just don't care for that. And I will say personally, when I lived in a big master plan community, I only used the public community pool maybe 3 times or so. I prefer having just my own private pool. Now, I don't have kids, so again, that's a different perspective, but you have to ask yourself, do these amenities matter? Sometimes the more amenity-rich neighborhoods come with a little bit higher price tag, higher HOA fees. So all these things are things you need to consider in the long run of where you're going to be happy and what your lifestyle will look like. The third thing that a lot of people don't know to ask about, especially if you are new to Texas and just moving here, is what are the HOA dues? Is there a mud tax or is there a PID assessment? Now, let me explain some of these acronyms. So HOA dues obviously are going to pay for the amenities at your homeowners association. Honestly, on houses, they're usually not that high. They might range from $40 a month to $100 and something a month. And so it just varies usually with what the community is offering in terms of amenities. Now, we have 2 different ways that the government collects money for the infrastructure and for the development of this area. So one is called a MUD, or Municipal Utility District. This is where the community had to make its own water district to bring in water to the neighborhood. So that's rolled into your tax rate, and you might see in some of the newer communities that the tax rate's a little higher. It might be 2.5, 2.6 or so, whereas a neighborhood that's not in a MUD might have a tax rate that's below 2%. So that can make a big difference on your overall monthly payments. The other thing that most people don't even know to ask about is a PID, or a Public Improvement District. So this is not part of your tax rate that you pay at the end of the year. This is a separate assessment that also pays for the infrastructure. So it might include the water, it could be improving the area around it, parks, playgrounds, all that kind of stuff. So it's just improving the overall area. And usually this fee is just assigned to the size of your home, maybe the size of the lot that you picked. So for an example, there's a neighborhood in Dripping Springs called Heritage, a really cute community. We've helped several clients move in there. Now, it advertises that it has a low tax rate, which is only about 1.7%. And that's actually a really good rate. But there is a PID payment that you have to pay monthly and it's about $300 or so. So if someone's on a budget, let's say they're a young couple, retiree, and they have a really fixed budget that they want to stay within, that could easily blow the budget. You need to just be aware of what the overall fees are, and that's something we always ask to try to protect our clients and make sure you have all the information up front. Fourth thing to ask about are where are the schools located and what is my overall commute time to the things that I need. So for some families with kids, having a neighborhood elementary school is a huge plus. They don't want to have to send their kids on a bus or have to drive them, 20 minutes or so to get to a school. So there's certain neighborhoods like Headwaters that has its own elementary school, and that's a big draw for some of the people in the community. Rough Hollow has Rough Hollow Elementary. Provence is where we live. It is going to have its own elementary school pretty soon at the entrance of it. So that can make a difference for some people. Other people don't care because they know that their kid is going to a school nearby. Look on Google Maps and see how far is it from this neighborhood to get to a grocery store, to get to a shopping center, to get to my job downtown. Now, a lot of people will go house hunting on a Saturday, so you might think, oh, this drive was pretty easy, but you need to look at Google Maps during rush hour. So check it at 7:30 in the morning and see, okay, what is the commute right now from this location to the job? It might be 20 minutes longer or so depending on when you travel. Now, if you can avoid rush hour, you'll have much easier drive times, but that's something you definitely need to consider and just factor it in different times of the day. And the fifth question that I think a lot of people don't think about is what else is going to be built around here? And I'm going to apply this to the neighborhood, but also the house you pick. So let's start with the house first. I've taken many people out. We've sold over 100 and something new construction homes over the years. And sometimes you see this beautiful house, there's nothing behind it. And it looks like maybe even it backs to a green belt where no one can build. It's a protected area. But you always have to ask the sales agent, the developer, look on Google Maps, see who owns this property behind this area, because it could be that it's someone's private farmland and you don't know if that person could sell it in the future. They could build something on it. It could be a commercial piece of land. There's actually in Headwaters right now some lots that are available that look absolutely spectacular from the backyard. They've got these beautiful rolling hills and everything, but that area is zoned for a commercial development. They're actually going to build a shopping center similar to the Hill Country Galleria right there at the entrance of Headwaters. So if you are someone that buys one of those homes on this edge, you might be thinking, hey, I've got this beautiful, peaceful view, but it's not going to be that way forever. And we can't guarantee what it's going to look like, but we know there will be a commercial shopping center. So always keep in mind what is directly behind this lot. And then also ask around the neighborhood, like what else is going in here? For some of our clients, they want to be close to shopping, to retail, all these things. And so sometimes we'll take them out to a neighborhood and then they start realizing like there's nothing around here right now. Or, even like the Headwaters area, that shopping center could be several years off. We don't have an exact finish date. Keep in mind that the area have enough stuff for you to do in terms of like restaurants, grocery stores, all those kinds of things. Or will you also be having to commute in all the time to get to where you need? If you're commuting all the time, I can tell you it's miserable around here to drive through rush hour traffic. So that can make an impact on where you end up. So remember, when you're choosing a home out in the suburbs, Dripping Springs, Lakeway, Bee Cave, those are the main areas we serve. You're not just choosing a house. Beautiful houses are all over the place. You're choosing your lifestyle, the commute time, the resale value in the future, all of those things that will have a big impact over the years. Now, to make things easier for you, I have already created a guide that actually answers all of those questions for most of the popular master plan communities in both the Lake Travis School District and in Dripping Springs. So you can use the link below to grab a free copy of that. If you want to talk further and have a one-on-one discussion, you can also book a quick 15-minute phone call with me. I'm Shannon Mangan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.